One second. There seems to be some. Yes. All right. I thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Saturday evening, in this lovely weather, to join this masterclass. We have here with us a real master of marketing, Mr. Monappa, and I had the pleasure of introducing Mr. Monappa to you today. All right. Mr. Monappa is a marketing leader with over two decades of corporate experience across financial services, fintech, and e-commerce businesses. He has built marketing teams and led marketing strategy across Citibank, Amazon, and most recently, until recently, he was with Tata Digital as Chief Marketing Officer. His professional interests cover brand marketing, product marketing, and enhancing customer value propositions for B2C businesses. He is a MBA from IIM Bangalore. Mr. Monappa is also a visiting faculty at the Faculty of Management and Commerce, and he has been, holding wonderful sessions for students and the faculty alike. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Professor. It's my privilege to host this session today, and welcome to everybody who's joined, who's taken time off on this rainy evening to spend some time in taking some of the learnings that we will be sharing over the next 60 minutes. So welcome to you all. Just give me a couple of seconds as I get sorted on the presentation.
In the meanwhile, I also welcome Mr. Sumit here, who is the Chief of Avasta Learning, who is also our host and host for today's session for this particular digital marketing aspect.
Yeah,
Welcome,
thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Sumit.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I think you'll have to stop sharing because it's not it's only one participant can share at a time.
Okay. Sir, I think I've stopped sharing. You could share now.
Okay, fine. Okay, is my slide visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, great. So good evening all, and let's get started on the next 60 minutes of some very interesting nuggets and insights that I'd like to share with you all, and frameworks, and walk you all through this. So as Professor already given an outline of my career and experience so far, as before we get into the nuts and bolts of storytelling and content marketing, I'd like to also understand from you all what a bit about your about yourself. So if you could just type into the chat, these 3 points, the city you're from, the nature of business that you are either leading or part of, is it B2B, B2C product services, and a couple of words in terms of your expectations from this session that would then set us all, set the context for what I can and how I fine tune or take you all through the slides to ensure that your objectives are met. So please just take a minute or two to just type into the chat window these 3 points: the city where you're from, your business, the nature of your business, and B2B, B2C, and a few words on the expectations from this session. Okay, Bangalore, clothing, commerce, B2C, nice. Sridhar. Upendra is from Delhi, manufacturing business, great insights for future growth. Okay. MBA student, got it. Okay. Bangalore, B2B, nice. So we have a mix of B2C, B2B. More content marketing, Vinay Kumar. Any of the others? Oh, so we have some overseas participants as well from Dubai, B2B, FMCG, okay, account and sales, faculty, okay, yes, okay. So we have a mix of academicians as well as from entrepreneurs, education, service marketing and teaching. Very interesting. Venkatesh from Trichy on Jaggery Sugar, very interesting. I have some relevant case study examples for you, sir, that we'll go through. B2B, B2C both. Okay. From Aurangabad, marketing video services, good. Yes, Dr. Manavi as well. Suraj, student. Anybody else who would like to share? Or we can move on. Bangalore, engineering student. Okay. Deep insights into buyer persona. Okay, we'll touch upon how to use insights from buyer persona. Today's session is more on storytelling though. Vishal from Delhi, digital marketer. Okay. Okay, with that, let's go into the session itself. Right, something with my... Yeah, so in terms of the session outline, this is what we have 5 sections that we'll cover today. We start with the power of storytelling, right? Why is storytelling important? And then we spend some time going through 2 cases of how we understand the core building blocks of a compelling story. And then we take the next topic, which is some common content marketing techniques for digital engagement. And then we come back to see how can we integrate storytelling into your content marketing strategy. And finally, how do you measure the impact of your storytelling efforts? Now, all this, of course, is in the context of digital businesses, largely digital marketing, digital medium, but in terms of the execution of it. But the core principles of building um, um, of storytelling will be applicable irrespective of the medium, be it digital or online or offline. So let's start with the power of storytelling. Why do stories matter? Anybody? You can just put in a few words in the chat. Oh, there's a question whether this recording will be shared with you all. I think Professor or Sumit, you can answer that. Very good. Sorry. Please go ahead, Professor. Okay, some very good responses to create impact. People are interested in stories and gossip. Sense of relatability. Very, very, very good point. Very good point. Stories and gossip to create impact. Okay. So stories are part of our history, right? Our culture, right? In mythology, we had the biggest stories, the epics, right? Ramayana, Mahabharata, right? Or in Greek and European culture, the Iliad uh, and Homer and Ulysses and all of that, right? So stories have been used to time immemorial to communicate values, to communicate culture, to translate culture, and to propagate it, right? Uh, yes, it's immersive engagement stays in our mind for longer, and stories last longer than products. Yes, very good responses, right? To create that lasting impact, right? As in the minds of not just necessarily consumers, right? We are humans first. As humans, we just love stories, right? It's part of how we've evolved as social beings, right? So mythology and cinema, right? Where do we experience it now the most vividly, right? Or actively is in cinema, right? In motion pictures, right? And what I've shared over here is probably India's largest running, the movie that has the record of running the longest number of weeks, DDLJ. So anybody here in this group who's not seen this movie, can you just mention show accordingly in the chat? I was trying to choose an example that as many people would have heard or at least if not seen, heard and know about Anybody at all who's not seen this? Nobody, right? I don't see anybody in putting that. So great. So I've chosen a very, very relevant example. And why are we discussing it here today, right? In terms of storytelling in marketing, right? Why is it? What is storytelling in marketing, right? Is the practice of and y'all have told it and y'all have mentioned it, right? The practice of using narratives to engage an audience and communicate a brand's messages, values, and product in a compelling way, right? And y'all have mentioned it, right, in a way that people relate to it, that they remember it, even if the product no longer is available or doesn't, or they're not yet consuming the product, but they definitely will remember the story, right? And that's going to be the focus of our discussion today, as what are the building blocks of compelling story? How do we do it in a structured way, and how do we then adapt it to our respective use cases or business problems that we're looking to? So, how is storytelling different from traditional marketing? Right? Is it the same? Is every marketing that you see out there storytelling, or are there some nuances out there? Let's walk through a few examples, right? And I'd like you all to see these examples and then tell me what you think is different. So let's just look at an advertisement for plain butter, right? So here you have Milky Mist, right, with the ad for their butter, which says only ingredient to make every dish butter, right? Play on words, better butter, right? And something that we've all grown up with, right? The Amul girl, everybody's favorite slab, right? Invest in it. It's probably around budget time, and then Moon Meetha Karo, which is around the launch of one of our satellite programs. So, question to you all, which you all can put in the chat: what are the two differences? List any two differences, one different, two differences that you all observe in these two approaches, right? The one on the left, Milky Mist, which and the one on the right, which is the Amul butter ad. Any differences? What are the differences? I can see somebody typing. Amul has a strong customer base. That it has, but just looking at the ad, can you react to the ad? Message in relation to a current trend. Professional touch versus personal touch. Amul girl, cartoon illustration is more engaging, relatable. Amul picks up a relevant current affairs to propagate its idea, right? Right. I think you got it very well. Both of y'all, Shilpa, Timir, and I saw a few of the others as well. Is that they pick on what is currently trending, a current story, right? What is the story, and that everybody is discussing right now in the last 1 week? But the budget, right? So their ad then picks up from that story of the budget and then adds on to that, right? As to or rather not adds, sort of embeds the product and the brand benefits into that, right? In the most relevant and topical story of that time. On the other hand, just look at what is the ad for Milky Mist doing? What is it talking about? See the difference in focus. Traditionally, yes, Anika, as a true professor, she's put it down, all structured it very well. Traditionally, more functional core values of the core product, right? You can see, right? Milky Mist has put the product right at the center of it, product based, right? Talked about the ingredient, right? I think that the ingredient is better. Whereas if you look at the storytelling approach, the product goes to the background. The brand is right there, but the product goes to the background, right? So therefore, it's not as if you're being sold something. You're being, somebody who's talking to you, engaging with you, conversing with you, entertaining you, and through the course of that, the brand message lands, right? And typically it's part of a continuum, not as a standalone, but as part of a continuum, right? So I think, but the most important thing which you'll call out is traditional advertising or marketing is more product based, very functional, attribute based, whereas storytelling tends to pick up a theme, a broader theme that connects with the customer as a regular citizen, as human beings, right? Not just as customer ABC. Okay. So this is one example. Now we'll move on to the others. Take this ad for adhesives, right? So this is an ad by ResiQuick, right? And this is an ad by Fevicol. Again, what are the differences that you see here? Both of them, for example, have celebrities, right? They're using celebrities. But what is, again, if you could put it into the chat window, what are the differences in both the approaches? Try to think of anything. Pakka jod. Okay, that's the Fevicol represents human saath saath hai kind of feeling. Huh. It takes jod or joining from the product to human emotions, saying that, bonding, bonding between friends, sentiment rather than rationality. Very nicely said. Yes. Again, product attribute. One is talking of, this as a chemical benefit, the benefits of it as a chemical, instant adhesive. ये नहीं तोड़ेंगे. Yes, right. It's talking to you. It's engaging with customers at with sentiments, with emotions. And it's connecting to, I guess, I know that the timing of this would have been maybe around the time of the launch of Sholay or a few years after that, when the popularity of Sholay was really, at its peak and sort of rode on that wave. Fevicol is using the movie story for marketing, especially. Yes. So who's smarter in this? Who do you think got more bang for the marketing buck? Traditional or storytelling? Traditional black and white and new color with more details. Yeah, I guess it's also in terms of timing. They're probably almost 40 years apart. Yeah. Again, you can see the similarity there between the Amul campaign and here. Fevicol picks up trends. Of course, they do a lot more creative things, but over here, they've sort of taken a very popular, movie at that point in time and rode on that, right? Great. So now I hope you are getting a bliss, a glimpse of or a sense of hang of how storytelling varies from different from traditional marketing. Yes, you're right, sweetie. New one is more informative, but is it more effective? Right? Maybe a blend of both. Fair. Yeah. And we'll go through that, right? When is it that sometimes brands are better off being more factual and in your face in terms of the product information versus going to other and being more emotional, taking the emotional route? The brand attributes take a back seat. It's more about the overall brand values that they want to put in front. The different depending on where your brand is or how your category is, you might want to choose sometimes to just start with the traditional approach and then move to the storytelling approach, and vice versa. And we'll walk through that. Informative, but not really explaining the product. Okay. So now let's go to the B2B example. I know some of you all are from the B2B, some of you all are from the services sector. A recruitment drive, an ad for a recruitment drive by Infosys, right? Now compare that with, again, an ad for a recruitment drive, but with a different approach by HCL, right? Again, what is the difference here? Both are ads for recruitment, same similar requirements, but what's the difference in the approach? Metaphorical. Excellent. Anybody else? Okay. Yes. Thank you, Manavi, for that. Now coming to this ad. HCL seems to be a friendly environment displaying the buzzword startup. Nice. Okay. Happy emotions are shown. Nice. What else? What are the other differences? What are they selling? I mean, this is an ad for selling, right? For selling something. Idea, sim, tagline. I didn't get that. Okay. Call to action in the recruitment drive, imagination of situation, hope. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, it's the HCL ad is talking of hope, ambition, aspiration, right? Connecting with the audience. Who's this audience, right? As in, this is young college graduates, people with a couple of, no, so this it's across experiences, right? 4 to 6, 4 to 8 years. But anyway, right, folks who are, in a 20 to 30 age group. And what are they competing with? These are engineers who are also being in the market in the market for startups. And startups are potentially pitching, more exciting roles, more exciting versus these large companies that are hiring in thousands and lakhs, right? And HCL realizes that their competition is not so much the same engineer applying to Infosys, but who's probably also contemplating offers from startups and saying that, hey, you don't have to worry, don't think that we are a boring large company, but you will have the similar excitement of a startup in a more established environment here at HCL, right? So they're pushing the story of, they're riding on the startup story, right? Whereas Infosys, yes, a more professional way, as is, you really don't know what is it you're joining this job for, right? What is it that you could get, right? What is it that you can aspire for? Yes, emotions, yes, right? Very important, very good keywords that you're using. Storytelling elicits emotions, right? As compared to traditional communication. Got it? Okay. Let's move on then. So, holistic approach, yes. Okay, now could you in the chat put your favorite, now that you've sort of been through these examples that we walked through, just put in a brand name, the name of the product that it was, that it represents, and why it is your favorite, right? Any particular campaigns that you think are good examples of storytelling now that you'll have seen this. If you just put it in the chat. Pidlight Fevicol. No, put something beyond what we've discussed. Something additional. Any others? Zomato. Okay, interesting. Yeah, very creative. Meteor 350. Amul, Cadbury. What is Meteor 350? Is that a motorbike or something? Bella Vita perfume. Interesting. Zudio. Nestle. Oh, Royal Enfield. Okay. Maggie. Maybe Maggie campaign. Whole truth. Yes, yes. Interesting. Dosa batter ad. Okay. Great. Harpic. Vodafone Zuzu series. Okay, great. And just one reason why is it your favorite? Is it because they are funny? They are topical, emotional? Why were these your favorite? Just put in a few keywords. Creative and conveying language. Okay. It's Mary Mag, it's relatable, very important. The story has to be relatable, not just entertaining and but it has to be relatable, saying that, yeah, I can relate to this, I can picture myself in that same story, or the story applicable for me. Resonates with the habits of all classes. Yes, yes. It's showing the struggle with the bathroom, Harpic. Very good point. It shows the problem statement of the customer, showing the struggle in the context, which is bathroom, and then introduces the brand in a very interesting way to solve that problem. Very good, very good. Very good points. Happiness, yes, some and uplifting emotions are always make you remember it, like it. Instant problem solving, yes. Yes. Okay, so let's move on then. I think you all have hit upon some very important points, right? Surf Excel daag achhe hain. Okay, coming to that. Let's move on now with that. Now that we sort of together got the sense of how storytelling is more impactful than traditional and what are those elements. Let's now look at what are the structures of storytelling. Of a story, right? And we'll compare two stories. One is the famous DDLJ, right? Which y'all would have, which y'all would have seen, and we'll just go through that. We'll go through that together because we're going to spend the next couple of minutes dissecting each of these, right? So we'll just see this together. Hold on while I share my screen. Hold on. Got the wrong one. Oopsie daisy. Can you all see the screen now of, I'm not sure what I'm showing.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah.
You could do a full screen on this, sir. So sound is not there.
Oh, okay. I'm playing it directly from this. I'm not sure why. Because I can hear it.
Sir, you'll have to open a new tab and do it, then probably we'll be able to hear it.
Okay. Open a new tab, is it? Because I'm sharing this new tab. Sharing this.
Share with computer audio, sir.
Can you hear it?
मुझे मिले हो, मुझे परेशान
Yes,
किए जा
yes, sir.
बड़े-बड़े देशों में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं।
You can play it again, sir. This time it'll share the same screen, sir. Share it again. Yes. Now do a full screen, sir. Yes. Again, the same issue, sir, I think.
Oh, what happened now? Will it play now? Okay. So it was a good. Sorry, hold on. Just give me 1 minute. Hold on. Okay, so that was on, the longest running film in Indian history. And now we'll just look at a professional example, right, of a product ad, which is Surf Excel Easy Wash. And then we are going to compare the two. Okay, so just give me a minute.
हंसकर आना बाहर ऐसे जाना मुश्किल है बनना मुश्किल था
ये निकालना इजी है। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश, इसकी 10 हाथों से मुश्किल दाग निकालना बन जाए इजी। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश।
हंसकर आना ऐसे आना मुश्किल है बनना पर मुश्किल था
ये निकालना इजी है। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश, इसकी 10 हाथों की शक्ति ऐसी मुश्किल दाग निकालना बन जाए इजी। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश।
Okay, so I'm back here. So Windy from which you're presenting is mute. Okay, I've shared the two videos with you. Can you hear now? Okay. So I've shared the two links, so y'all can also now have a look at it separately on the side. Okay, and we'll jump into the discussions now. Just give me a minute. I think somebody else has taken over screen sharing. I'm not able to share screen. Sumit, Professor, is one of you sharing the screen because I'm not able to.
No, sir, you can share the screen. Click on share.
Oh yeah, okay, got it. Okay, and we'll just go through now each of them. Right, I'm sure the DDLJ one with one view through, y'all could remember most of the story elements. The Surf Excel wash, you can probably pay it again if you didn't get it, if you're not able to remember all the elements in that. So the first part of in storytelling, right, is the context, right? The context or the setting, right, of the story, right? As you saw in DDLJ, right? Two parts of the story. First half of the story is in London, in Europe, overseas setting, and then the second half, almost post interval, it sort of moves to India, right? Because the story is about, and as you know, NRI values, right? Values of NRIs and how they hold it so dear to them, of the values of their motherland so dear to them, and so they're so traditional in it, even though that they've been staying overseas, first generation or second generation, right? So that was the selling point, because B.R. Chopra or Aditya Chopra was making this movie. Who was he marketing it to? He was marketing it to the NRI audience, the Indian audience and the NRI audience. Right? This is DTLJ really opened up the Bollywood market to the NRI audience. So that was the context, and context had to be reflected in this movie, right? And then what you see in the Surf Excel ad, right? You see this house setting, kid coming back from games, some pets over there. So question to the audience is, what are some of the things that you need to keep in mind when selecting the context of the communication, right? And we'll do this very quickly, right? And just the first few comments in the chat. Target audience. Interesting ways. Yes, the target audience is important. Product. Okay, I think a little early for the product. Mass or narrow target audience, yes. You need to, yeah. Okay. Any other before we go on to the next one, to the actual input? Emotion that is addressed. We'll come to emotion soon. The context. Context is saying, like, where is this communication going to be set in? In what type of setting? Where will you show? What location? What setting? What lifestyle setting are you going to show in that context? That's what we mean by context here. Indianism. Okay. So to answer that very simply, right, and to cut to that, it is the context in the setting, the real life setting, which you can relate to, saying that you as a customer or the audience is in, right? That's the context. It's the physical, tangible setting in which the audience, the target customer, is most likely to experience the product, right? Or experience the category that this product is targeting, right? Yeah. So youth and kids, for Surf Excel is youth and kids, the family context, house context. It's, it's at home. It is in a household setting around home, right? It's not at a work environment, right? That's not what this is. Yeah, is for, right? It is physical evidence. Yeah, the physical setting is what we mean here by the context. As explained for DDLJ, the physical setting had to be the overseas location, right? Because that's how you connect with the NRI audience and the entire um, emotion over there, right? With the NRI audience out there. So that's the first part, context. When you think about communication, first think about what's the setting in which this brand, this product, this category is being experienced, right? The physical setting. Then you go to the next one, character, right? Which is what you talked about. In this case, Raj and Simran, Shahrukh and Kajol. In this case, the mothers, the kid, right? What are the criteria that you need to keep in mind when selecting the characters in the communication? Again, just put in your thoughts. Realistic, yes, very important. What's another word? Yeah, for relatable, primary target, but that relatable. Yes, it's a primary target audience. Yes, but choice of character should be relatable. Pencil picture of the customer, but yes, relatable, right? The character should be relatable, saying that yes, that could be me, right? So that's what. So in the characters over here, you had to, the character shown there was that of an NRI family and Indian family, right? You showed them dressing very differently. How Simran is dressed in London versus, when they come back to Punjab or wherever, right? They are in, right? The dress sense there, it's more traditional, right? In DDLJ, which is the NRI and the Indian context, the characters there reflect the context, relatable. And in the surf ad, mothers of preteen children, the smart, they definitely look like mothers, right? And in terms of this, the age, the way that they're presented there, and smart and playful child, right? As in, you want to have kids like that. I mean, you want your kids to be seen as smart, energetic, playful, right? So you relate to the characters, right? So relatable, right? And that's the key word out here. So the first part was the context. Where is this going to be set? Second is the characters in terms of who you're talking to, right? If you need to be very clear of your target customer and how they can relate to the characters that you are using in the ad. Now coming to the important part, right? I think you all already touched upon it earlier. What is the conflict or the problem that is being faced by these characters? What is the problem being faced, right, in DDLJ, right, by the main characters Raj and Simran? And what is the problem being faced by the characters here in in the Surf Excel ad by the mothers and the kid? Right? Most of them the mothers, because your customer actually here is the mother, right? They're the ones who are going to purchase your product. Okay, so Timur says father is against, yes, father against the line. Perception in the case of DDLJ, what perception? What is the conflict there? Different thoughts and culture. Very yes. Mother getting old method or old tradition, yes. So if I said kid wants to cultural conflict, yes. Kid wants to have the dog, mother is more worried about talks. Very good, very good. So that is the conflict, right? The problem statement. Generation gap, cultural conflict, yes. Yeah. Right. So to summarize the conflict in DDLJ, societal expectations on parental obligations constraining the freedom of choice for children. Right over there, you have that the father has already, when his daughter is born itself, he has committed and given her hand, promised a hand to his friend in India, right, and to his son, right? Stereotypes and so on. So that cultural conflict, old tradition versus new traditions, older generation versus newer generation. That is the conflict in this movie, right? And therefore he is not agree to her choice. All right. And in the Surf Excel, it is kids parents want kids to play, want kids to go out and play. But the conflict is when they play, the clothes get dirty with very tough stains that are very difficult to wash, hard to remove. That's the conflict. Playing is good for children, but in that activity, in that good activity, there is also a negative outcome that the clothes get soiled with hard stains. Okay, so we've covered context, physical setting, the characters, right? Who's going to reflect, the primary target audience, and the conflict, or what is the product or the brand problem statement that the characters are facing in this context. Next, emotion, very important for storytelling, right? All the different emotions that you see in DDLJ, right? Versus over here again, right? So why is emotion important in this communication? Why is it important to show so many different, in the movie, of course, you have the flexibility to show, or the resources to show many emotions, more detail, but even in your communication, what is the emotion that should be shown in the Surf Excel ad? I see a smiley from Timur. Does that communicate the emotion? Why is emotion important? You have lastly covered this in, yeah. Child innocence, yes. Child innocence is the emotion, yes, okay. Cuteness, innocence, very nice. Concern, also, yes. Mother is concerned. Emotion stops logical thinking. Very, very interesting point, okay. Should appealing to the audience. Contribution side, kindness and concern. Okay, let's see what we have. Yeah, so the emotion in DDLJ is dance, fights, parental emotions. In Surf Excel Easy Wash, it's cute, fun. It's also uplifting, right? Concern also from the mother thing. Why? Because I think one of your talk mentioned that point. I think, Sweetie, is that appeal to emotion versus logic, right? When you move emotions versus logic, it is a lot more impactful in getting the message across, right? The message is a very straightforward, rational one, but when you add a layer of emotion, then it becomes a lot more memorable, right? And impacts behavior more effectively than just going only with logic, right? So that is the layer that is added, right, in storytelling. Now coming to the resolution or the solution, right? What is this? Now the target audience has faced a problem. What is the resolution? What is the resolution in DGLJ? What is the resolution in the Surf Excel ad? What should the resolution achieve? Right? If you can put your comments out there. Smile should come back. Okay, yes. The concern, you should address customers' concern, what is concerning them. It should make them feel positive again. In actual attributes, it is, yes, clean clothes, remove the stains, clean clothes, contentment. The customer should feel content that the problem has been addressed. Any others? What should the resolution achieve? Quick solution. Yeah, it should be, quick. You should see it should happen. Should not take too much time, too much effort. Okay. So in DDLJ, what is the solution? That the girl runs away from the arranged marriage with her lover, right? That is it. That is, you find Simran running away with Raj, right? And getting onto that train. In Surf Excel Easy Wash, it is it will easily remove dirt from clothes, right? You see that entire product demo, right? Oh, it's an animation thing of those surf particles coming in and those dislodging the dirt particles out there on the clothes and just taking it off, right? Visualizing the solution. This is what actually happens when you use the product, right? Easily. It's easy wash, easily removing it, right? Saying that you don't just dump it into the bucket of water, put the Surf Excel, easy wash, and then doesn't show any effort in scrubbing it, right? Just says that, it just shows the product particles working very actively to dislodge it. So easily remove it, right, from. Now here's an important point. How do you make? Now the solution has been shown. Why will customers believe this? Why will they believe that you can, that this product or this brand or this service is actually going to deliver on this solution, right? What is it? Right? That's the most important part, which is the authenticity or the credibility that one needs to add in storytelling, right? To add without that layer of authenticity, right? For example, in DDLJ, there is this important scene that adds authenticity, right, to the final solution of them, of Raj and Simran getting together. And in the Surf Excel ad, you find the final product screen, which brings you that authenticity, right? Why is it important to have authenticity in the communication? Any emotion, any reactions to that? Any answers? Could just put it in the chat screen. Confidence building, yes. Story should be, to make the story convincing, yes. Convincing. Develop trust, yes. Yes, all very important points, yes. Trust, confidence, convincing, right? So what element in DDLJ that brings that trust or makes it convincing, right, is that finally when the father consents, when parental approval, right, is offered, is given for them to be together, right? That's what adds authenticity to this entire thing, right? ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है, right? You can't just run off and elope like that, right? You eventually need to bring to get parental consent. And in the case of the brand of the Surf Excel ad, it is by putting a very popular. They're relying on the popularity, the trust of the Surf mother brand, right, to bring that credibility to it. Saying, Acha, Surf is a brand that's been around for decades, well known, popular as a very effective and popular detergent, and that's what adds authenticity to this overall story of the problem of hard to remove dirt stains being so easily removed with this brand extension, right? So these are the elements, right, of storytelling, right, that we when you to look at it together and compare the two, right, these 6 elements: context, character, conflict, emotion, solution, resolution, and authenticity. And now how do we sort of craft it in the narrative arc, right, the narrative story? So the first part, as I said, is setting the customer context, right, and choosing the characters. What is the setting, physical setting? Who are the characters, or who's the audience, right, that we saw, right, like in the ad. Household setting, kid, mothers, right? The context is child is returning from play, and cute pet dog thing. That's the context in which this story is going to be presented. The characters, mothers of preteen children, smart and playful child, and also some very cute looking pets as well, right? So that's the first 2 parts of setting the customer context, choosing the characters. Next is highlighting the customer problem. Now, if context and characters are there, what's the problem? Like the conflict. The problem over here is that the mother, they endorse. I mean, they're very proud of the fact that her son has been able to help the pet, is thinking very smart, right? Has come back from play, being active. But that also comes with the trade-off of the clothes getting soiled, and soil stains, mud stains are very difficult to remove, right? The customer problem, and to that is versus just putting it as a problem, to add emotions. When you add emotion for the engagement, right, you make it a little cute, you make it a little uplifting, right? The music comes into play, the choice of the of how the story is weaved, right? Conflict and emotion, right? So 3 and 4, the customer problem and emotion. And then now's the time to introduce the brand, the hero, right? But to do it in an authentic way for customers to be convinced, to trust, to think of the brand as being responsible, right? And here you say that when you demonstrate the brand solution, and then you say that here they've used the power of the mother brand Surf to add to bring about that authenticity out there, right? So this is how you go about crafting the narrative arc, right? Just to summarize, right? 1, 2, customer context. 2, choose the characters. 3, highlight the customer problem. 4, add emotion. 5, demonstrate the brand solution. And 6, maintain the authenticity of the claim, right? So this is just to take a very quick break to summarize what we've done till now. We've covered as to why storytelling is important. We went through those comparative examples, and we've gone through an example now of how to build what are the building blocks of building a compelling story. Okay. So one important aspect about why authenticity and relatability is important, right? And this is a very live thing, right? You see that right now, ASCII, which is the advertising service, advertising certification institute, has which is what this body examines Advertising Standards Council of India. This council investigates every or evaluates every ad that is out there, and they then, if they find that the ad has put misleading claims or claims that cannot be verified by scientific studies or by data, then they penalize the brands to actually take down the ad, and in many cases also pay large fines as well, right? So this is when it sort of goes to the extreme, and you've seen some very large D2C brands, like I think most one that are called out over here are Mama Earth, Health Card, First Cry, Lens Card, whose ads have been pulled down because they made misleading claims, right? So this is why authenticity and relatability is very, very, very important. Sorry, screen sharing this. So hold on. Okay, so now exercise for y'all. If you look at your respective businesses that y'all are in, or that y'all manage or are part of, can you just put a few words as to what would be the context, character, conflict, emotion, just 1 or 2 words, right? That comes to your mind, keywords. If you were to build a story for your respective businesses or brands, just put it in the chat. I know some of you are students, some of you are academicians, and probably not necessarily handling a business or brand, but then maybe you can just take an example. Say you're talking about XYZ brand. And I saw one of you gentlemen, the gentleman from Trichy, who's managing his own Jaggi brand, and I saw a couple of others, Educate, EdTech, some of the B2B examples, and so on. Maybe, I think it's very relevant for you all if you will just put your thoughts over here as to, or maybe not for all 6, but just take any one of these elements and say that what is it that you would put for your product, right? What is the conflict, brand problem, customer problem that your brand is solving or your product is solving, right? Or what is the character and say, describe the target customer, right? That you would put in your story. Or what is your brand solution? How does it solve that customer problem, right? Just put it in that window. You take a minute or 2 for that. So Upendra Gulati from Delhi, who's in the manufacturing business. Sridhar from Bangalore. You're in clothing e-commerce. Maybe y'all could take the lead over here and just put in a few words. Venkatesh from Trichy with a Chagri brand. Asim Madar from Aurangabad, marketing video services. Yeah. This is just for us to sort of, work through this together. Nobody? I don't see any responses yet. Or maybe let's just walk through an example. And so Venkatesh sir from Trichy, are you okay if we discuss your product, your Jaggery business? So yeah, Professor Manami has put academic context. She's in academic research and training. So context is publications, appraisal, character as a newly admitted PhD scholar, okay? Because she mentors PhD scholars. Nice. So let's walk through this. So Manami, what is the conflict or the problem? Yes, Venkatesh. So the context is sugar, okay? Context in the physical setting, do you do direct to customer sales, or are you in wholesaler? Yeah, sure. Manvi, why don't you unmute and speak?
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was difficult to type. So
Okay.
conflict is like what they struggle in the initial stages that can be highlighted as a funny kind of emotion is added in that process, so that then the solution is how this center can help them to do actual academic research part. And then if we can highlight someone's publication or successfully getting a job, can show that in a top tier institutes, so the authenticity will be created.
Got it. Okay. So the conflict is, when you say indexing, is the conflict that, or the problem situation is that the students are hoping that this qualification of the PhD will get them to better career prospects with
Not just
the top
PhD is
institutes?
a character alone, but the main problem is here is doing a research.
The problem is doing impactful research or deep research or research
Yes.
that is.
Yes,
Okay.
that is the problem. So
Okay.
that problem, we bring the character more relatable is PhD scholar or any academician who is struggling with that, putting any appraiser system or not, then this particular center or service can help them in getting trained and doing better job.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Sir,
Venkatesh, sir, can you unmute and share
Shall I,
your?
sir? Shall I continue, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I am a distributor for my own brand sugar, sir. So I am getting from my friend's farm, directly from his farm. I am supplying directly to customer as well as to the shops also, sir.
Okay.
For me, it's little difficult to relate to these 6 criteria.
Take anyone, sir. Not all 6 maybe immediately relatable, but take anyone. Like, so you're saying that you're branding the Jaggery, right? You're creating your own brand.
Yeah, sir.
So what do you, what is the story, or what is it that you say you put on on the pack that you want customers to notice as when they choose?
Actually, my name is my product name is Janas. It's JWANAS, and I have mentioned below the brand name. It's naturally sweet.
Naturally sweet. Okay, so nature.
Naturally
saying that no additives.
Yeah, right, sir.
Okay, good. So you're going on that aspect that people are perhaps worried that there may be some other synthetic additives or artificial additives.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also promote them that it's chemical-free Jaggery sugar.
Got it. And for authenticity, what is it that you provide as proof that they should believe this claim from you?
I have given samples for from many manufacturing units, sir. So I have visited, before taking this particular product, I have visited nearly 40 to 50 units of manufacturing unit, and I have collected many samples from those units, and I have given samples, sir. And I have get the what do you call? I get the how they prepare sugar in that particular unit, which I am currently getting.
No, but how does the customer know that you've done all this effort to verify that it is chemical free? When they get the package, when they pick up the product, Jana's Jaggery, and they on the pack that says that all these steps or these tests have
No,
been done.
I have not mentioned all those steps in my pack. It's very simple pack. Unfortunately, I don't have currently the pack.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, maybe that's something that you should consider, right? Is this how do you communicate that?
Some people, they used to ask me orally, and all, and they believe me that the product which I am supplying to them is chemical free.
So you're saying believe you because of your personal credibility, that they believe you as a person, and therefore.
Two aspects, sir. One is personal credibility, and the quality of product which currently I have been giving to them is not even as 1% of quality is deteriorating. The standard of quality standard
after
is
using the product.
Yeah, the quality of the standard of
product,
quality I am maintaining.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your inputs. Well, we move to Mohammed Tabarak. Mohammed, you articulated the points very well. Can you just talk us through this? Unmute yourself and talk us through this. Your product, which is papad, you put everything there. Mohammed, are you there? Mohammed Tabarak. Okay, maybe he's having some problem with unmuting. Oh, I haven't been able to unmute. Okay. Okay, then I'll just read out what Mohammed has put here. I'm sure you'll have seen it on the chat as well. His product is papads, and the context that he's going to put this communication out is in context of the Onam festival. Okay, and I guess in Onam, papads are popular. And character, of course, are Malayalis, because Onam is celebrated mainly by Malayalis. The conflict is that, yes, Malayalis love to eat papads in their Onam festivities, but they have concerns about having oily food, because papads are fried in oil. So a solution that his papad offers is that is very low oil consuming papad. Okay, excellent. Now the interesting thing is, how do you communicate in the product solution that it has low oil, and how do you add it in the authenticity? Of course, in the ad, I'm sure if it's going to be in the context of Onam festival, it's all about celebration and all that, and probably you'll have this ad where they're wondering like, okay, should I, in the context of celebration, should I worry about the consuming oily fried food? And then when the customer is having concern, your brand then offers the solution of celebrating Onam with delicious papads and not worrying about oil. Okay, great. I think that's how your story will plan out. Okay, let's move on. And an old couple with 80 plus are showing that it's healthy. Okay, you even got the demographic of it. Excellent. Okay, let's move on. In the interest of time, we'll skip it because we are just at the 1 hour mark, and we'll move on. So now we've actually done the heavy lifting of finding out, what are the stories that, the building blocks of a story. As you see, walk through these examples, you are getting the hang of it. What is it, and you're all these visualizing in which blocks, what are you going to put over there for your respective brands or services, be it, PhD, mentoring PhD students, or papads, or distributing jaggery, right? We walk through the structures of that. Now let's look at some common content marketing, because there's storytelling, and then there is the medium of content marketing, right? What are the content marketing techniques out there? Videos, right? And here I thought, very relevant to Venkatesh, right? Because you can see this video here. You don't need to hear what it is because mainly music, right? So this is if you were to do a search for cold press oils in Bangalore, right? You can see my screen, right? And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, so this is an ad for cold press for a an ad for Dhanvantri, which is a cold pressed oil brand from Bangalore. Okay, the link to watch the recording. Fine, I think I'll leave it to Sumit and Professor to suggest how we can address this. So this is a cold pressed oil brand from Bangalore, and you can see this is a video of it's called a product demo video, right, of how cold pressed oil is extracted, right? So this is one format, and I thought very relevant to Venkatesh, who's in the similar who's in the similar business, right? Then the others, of course, are where you use similar, and we're walking through the same examples of food, right, of food products, edible products out there where there's a lot of information that needs to be communicated to customers for them to be able to appreciate the values, the benefits of it. Cold press oil, not everybody is aware of it. Why should they take cold press oil, etc. What you saw over there is a product video as to how cold press is made. Then there, of course, reels and shorts where you take. Oops, 1 minute, it's gone off Instagram. Can you see this Insta video, or I don't know if it is. Let's go back. So you have these like Insta videos and reels where you have influencers talk about the values, the quality of it, video blogs, right, where they explain the features, and these are influencers who are being followed. This lady over here is a dietitian, right, and she's followed by people who want to improve their lifestyle, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. So she's explaining why the benefits of olive oil and cold pressed olive oil. The gentleman on the right is a food blogger. His hand is Sun Lab, and he about all the ingredients of food, right? And he adds the science behind it as to why is it that, for example, a grandmother's recipes is still the most healthiest recipes, etc., and so on. And here he's talking about cold pressed oil. So here, for example, if you are in the business of building a brand oils, these are the 3 different formats. Some of the formats that you could put out there for content. One is a product video where you're showing about the product, where you are talking about the product, you're talking about the brand, you're saying that where you are, what you do. And then the other aspect is where you get somebody else to talk about the brand, somebody else to talk about the category, right? Which is either through a social influencer or a blogger like this, right? So these are all the video formats.
I recommend the place now. That one you already gone for snooker. That's what is it? No, what is that? Snoop,
Okay, Vishnu, I think you should go on mute. Okay, let me just. So Vishnu is on mute. Okay. Right. So that is the video formats, and then you have content formats like blog forums like Quora, right? Where again, if you were to look at similar searches for what is cold press oil, I'm just taking the topic of right. What are all the different content formats that you can explore, right? You have blog forums where people ask Q&As, ask questions around multiple products, right? And you can have either you yourself can go blog out there, or you can hire people to, or freelancers to sort of put in the content out there, right? Blog forums. The other way to look at it is just when there's a lot of information to be put out there, just a static infographics, right? Where you're comparing cold press oils with refined oils, and putting that out there. This is typically very popular on social media posts where you just want to put a tidbit content out there, easy snackable content, right? That customers can just see and get the information that they want. Here again, it's largely where you want a lot of, it's primarily information focused, right? In this case, it's not so much emotion focused. And podcasts also increasingly becoming popular, where there's some podcasts that talk about some categories, and you can then work on a paid promotion with those podcast providers to actually talk about or integrate some mentions of your brand. So these are content formats. Now we'll just touch upon SEO and storytelling as well. So for example, when, since videos, we just come back to the example of this YouTube video, that brand video that Dhanvantri, this cold press oil, has done, right? What are the couple of things that one needs to keep in mind, right? When one needs to ensure that whatever content they're putting out there is easily found, right? I'm assuming here that you all are familiar with the term SEO and search engine optimization, even if you don't know the details of it, but what it refers to, because I think it was also covered by Sumit in his first presentation. So the first thing is, of course, ensuring that their title is easily searchable, right? So it has the main keywords, right, of cold press oil, right? The description also has multiple references to that keyword of cold press oil. And then, it is easily shareable. It is easily discoverable also on other social media platforms. And you also have, tags and cross promotion, right? For those respective keywords, right? So keyword research, etc., is a separate topic, right? But that's what you will leverage on to ensure that the content that you put out there is easily discoverable, right? Is organically discoverable by customers or prospective customers when they're looking for more information or looking for how to find brands that they're looking for, right? So here again, just to show an example of how this brand could have done better, right? Dhanvantri is a brand that is based in Bangalore, right? But you see, when you put cold press oils in Bangalore, you find another brand that comes out there, which is Gramium, which is actually not based in Bangalore, it's actually based in Chennai. But what they've done is they've created a page, right, specifically dedicated to, in their website, specifically dedicated to cold pressed oil in Bangalore. So those are some of the hacks that one leverages to improve searchability, right? I'm just touching upon some of at a very high level, on some of the ways to improve SEO, searchability, and ranking, right, for your content. Right, through the product demo, which is what we saw there. Then, of course, there are consumer reviews. When you actually go to customers and get them to, instead of you talking about your brand, you get customers to talk about your brand, right? Customer reviews, and actually put out there on social media, and user generated, right? You get them either organically, or you work with them to actually use your product and post content of about their experience in using that product, and how your product can actually be used. Here again, it is sticking through one single product, which is cold press oils, right? So multiple formats. So video formats, so you're putting a brand out front there, product demo formats, text-based formats, infographic formats, podcasts, and also leveraging customer and user generated content. Now we go to the next topic, which is how do we integrate storytelling into your content marketing strategy, right? What is the route that you take, right? So I'm just simplifying it into two routes, right? One route is brand centric, where you put the brand in front. You mainly just talk about the brand, right? The brand is the hero. The brand is doing the talking. And the other is customer centric, where you make customers talk on your behalf, right? On behalf of the brand. And we've just gone through both examples, right? We looked at product videos, and we also looked at user generated videos. And then there are the other parts of which we talked about in storytelling, emotion driven, right? And I know you won't be able to hear this, but just to walk through this.
1933.
और हम कहेंगे आपका पर्सन फिर से हमारे घर पे आया है
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में.
माँ भी हमेशा अपनी माँ मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी, ये आपके लिए.
मैंने कहा था कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में. We mark the mustard specialist since 1933.
Right, so that is an example of an emotion-driven ad. Maybe I'll just put the link for you all out there. Hold on, just a minute. On chat. Grami also, okay. Right, so one is emotion-driven, which is the ad that is there, and you can see that separately. It's very similar to the ad that we saw for Surf Excel as well, right? Characters there, some story, which is storytelling, and the other approach is pure data or information-driven, which is in a format that is like the infographic format, right? Also, as we saw, not necessarily just in an infographic format like this, like we saw in it is the more traditional approach. We saw in the examples earlier, the Infosys ad, the other adhesive ad, right? The Milky Mist butter ad, right? More information, product attribute focused as compared to the storytelling approach. So these are the different approaches for communication. And how do you choose? There should be a point, like how do you choose which route to apply at what point in time? Let's now walk through that. So a simple 2x2 matrix, right? Where on the x-axis or the bottom, you look at what is the customer awareness or understanding of the category of business that you're in, right? And on the x-axis, you look at, on the y-axis, you look at what is the awareness of your brand. So let's take one example of let's say detergents, right? Surf Excel, the one that we went through. So category is what? Category is household is washing detergent. Is awareness high or low? Right? Do customers know? I mean, is washing powder a new, or is it a concept that everybody is familiar with? Can you just put your comments out there? High, okay. High. Yes. Anybody else? High. Yes. Okay. Fair. So we know that on this axis, it's going to come more towards the right, towards high. Okay. Then in terms of brand, low. Tejas says low. Tejas, can you explain why you feel that customer understanding of washing detergents is low? Or can you just either you can unmute yourself because you have a different point of view and I'm keen to understand what that is. Tejas, either you can unmute yourself or you can type on chat, whatever you're comfortable with.
Tejas, you could unmute yourself or type it in the chat box.
Okay, while Tejas is responding, we'll move on. So, the next question is in terms of for Surf Excel, in terms of brand awareness, is it low or high? Could you type in high? Yes, okay. Anybody else? High, yes. So you know now where Surf Excel is going to come, right? On the top right-hand corner. It's high on category awareness because it's in the category of detergents, which everybody is aware, and also high in terms of brand awareness. So when everybody knows everything is very aware of what the category is about, everybody knows your brand, then what is it that you're going to talk differently? How is it that you're going to make people notice your communication, right? And we'll walk through the approaches, right? So in the case of where the category awareness, both category and brand awareness is low, right? As in, so let's take an example. Let's say in washing powder, let's say they come up with a new, somebody comes up with a new type of detergent, which is, let's say, capsule detergent, right? You just put a small, like a pill or a tablet into the bucket, and it is enough to wash, right? Let's call it like, that's not washing powder, it's washing tablet. And it's a brand that nobody's heard of. It's not Surf, it's not Tide, it's something called Zero. I'm just making up that mind. Okay, there is a Zero brand is called Zero because why? There's zero effort, zero stains, etc. Zero brand of washing tablet. It will come right to the left because nobody is aware yet of what are washing tablets, and nobody is aware of this brand. And typically, therefore, when a brand comes in this axis, they'll have to talk about their brand first, right? They have to introduce their brand, right? Because what is Zero about? What is this category about? They have to do a lot of information about it, right? Making a very entertaining ad that is very memorable, etc., right? Can make customers notice the ad, but they're like, but what is? They'll not get any information about what this category is about. So this at this stage, the brand will probably have to take a more information-led, brand-centric approach. On the other hand, if the category is very well established, like in the case of washing powder, right? If Surf Excel bring out capsule, then do they still have to promote the brand? Very important point. Understanding of the category. I'll come to that in just 1 minute in the next Excel, in the next one. Or actually, let's jump to that since you've come to. So now, if Surf Excel were to bring out a capsule, now as a capsule, nobody knows about the capsule. So it's going to be to the left-hand side. Okay, low customer awareness of the category. It's going to come to grid C. But the brand everybody is aware of, right? So they don't need to promote the brand, but they need to talk about the category. It has to be more information-led as to why a capsule is better than a powder, right? And you probably need, the brand can take a back seat and they can use more of customer demos, concept marketing, yes, that more, customer demos, the social media influencer demos saying that, hey, here's a new product from Surf Excel, it's a tablet, and let me show you how this is better, right, or easier to use. So it will come in point C, right, in grid C. Okay, did that answer your question, Ananya? You just type in the chat box. Okay. Coming to D, which is where Surf Excel washing powder is now today. High category awareness, high brand awareness. So the storytelling has to be more emotion driven because there's a lot of clutter. Everybody knows about washing powder. Everybody has heard about Surf Excel. So you can't talk to the customer rationally now because they said, yes, I know, I use washing powder, right? I know about it. I know Surf Excel is a brand, but really, what is different now? So you talk to the emotions, right? And that's where the storytelling approach is most relevant over here. Okay, is most impactful over here. It was also impactful when you're a new brand in a category that's well established, there are large other brands out there, and you want them to notice you, the customer take. So let's say Zero brand got into washing powder and not necessarily washing tablets, right? Then versus the information approach, they have to take an emotion approach, make a very creative ad, very strong emotions, because the product is the same. I mean, it's washing powder, but the emotions that they appeal to customers will be very different, right? Or more stronger than what the existing brands did, and it'll have to be brand centric because customers don't know about this brand. So this is now what we'll do is, this is a very simplistic way of route map, storytelling route mapping. Now let's just walk through your respective brands. Hi, somebody on mute, please. Susanna, I think. Yeah. So now just take your respective brands, your products that you are, and see that which part of this grid will you be on, which box will you put your service in. Let's start with the Papad thing. I think if Mohammed can unmute now, or you can chat. Okay, Vinay, what is, you said B. What is your product?
So basically, we have this design services category, and also we do the component distribution, electronic component distribution.
Okay,
So
and the reason you've chosen B is because
the awareness is quite high. I mean, in the
okay,
ecosystem, what we categorize, but our brand value is quite low because there
okay,
are many competition, many players in this field.
got it, got it. So therefore, B, you'll make a very emotional story about it. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Ananya, I'll answer your question in just a minute. I just want to go around the audience and hear what they have to say about their brand. So, Mohammed, are you still there? I don't know if you're still there. I'm very keen to understand from you, where would you put your Papad brand? Okay, so where would you put your Papad brand? Which block? D. Customer centric, emotion led. Okay, very interesting, Mohammed. Why would you not put your brand? Why would you not make it brand centric, but you make it customer centric? Is your brand very popular? What is your brand called? It's called Papadam, the brand itself. Okay, interesting. So, and I'm assuming it's very popular in the market. I'm assuming what, Kerala? Is the brand called Papadam or just the category we are referring to as Papadam? What is the brand called? Yeah, I understand. Papads are used in every household, so category is very well aware. But I want to know about your brand. What have you branded the papads, or you just distribute papads of multiple brands? Do you have your own brand? You just made up. Okay. Oh, you're just taking this as an example. Oh, not a brand of your own. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, but let's assume for a minute that it was your own brand, right? And it is, and you would go to D if it was very well known, right? On the other hand, you'd keep it at B if, just like Vinay said, if your brand is still trying to make a mark on it. Okay. What about Jana's Jaggery? Venkatesh sir, which grid box would you put it in? Is Jana's very well known as a brand? Jaggery, of course, everybody knows. So definitely it will come either in.
I put my brand in B, sir.
Okay.
Because many competitors are there. Even big players are coming into this category of product. Even Britannia is there. Paris is there.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So clear.
I'm not in a position to compete with them.
Right.
Like big players like Britannia and Paris.
Got it. So you will just focus on whatever communication to talk about your brand. You will not focus so much about the category. Yeah.
Sorry?
So you will not focus about talking about the category, why Jaggery is good, etc. You will focus more on your brand, on putting up Jana's talking about Jana's Jaggery, and you would want it to be more emotion led of why it is.
Sir, actually, in my area, in Trichy city, I was able to keep stock only in small shops only, not in supermarkets. If the supermarket allows me to get into the shops and discuss about my product, so I can discuss and keep my minimum stock. So that's the challenge I have been facing for the last 1.5 to 2 years. So
got it. So maybe then the approach is before you put your brand, because right now you first want to get presence in supermarkets, and supermarkets and any retail chain will only take notice of a brand if customers start asking for it. So maybe you should look at for some way how you can get customers of the supermarket brands to start asking for Janas.
I have been distributing to all small grocery shops, and many customers directly walk into my office. My office and house both situated in one building. So they walk in and ask for my product. But unfortunately, I am not in a position to keep stocks in supermarkets.
Okay, sir. Okay. So thanks for sharing
Whenever I go and ask for a minimum slot to keep my stocks, sir, competitions are high. Pricing is major part. Even Britannia and my product are in the same.
Sure, sir. So we'll just take a time check on this because we have to move on. But thanks for sharing all these inputs. Right. We'll just move on now.
Sir, if you allow me, may I add something to this?
Sure, Ananya. I just make it quick because we have to move on.
Yeah. So there was a person like what Janasa was just referring to that, and you as a solution, you said that when the customer starts asking for it, they will give the supermarkets, they want that. A similar incident happened in one of the places near Varanasi. There was one medical representative and there was a new brand of medicine who was trying to market their product. So what they did was they had a group of doctors who made prescriptions writing those medicines, and then they distributed randomly to various people, and they started going and asking to actually people to medicine shops that, do you have these medicines? And they kind of created an awareness about that product in the way. And they actually successfully marketed that. Though it was a very small area, so it was probably possible there.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Very entrepreneurial of them. Okay, so let's move on. Right. So this grid was just to simplify it. Now we'll come to the most important aspect, which is after doing all this, spending so much time, effort, resources in putting together the stories, putting the communication out there, how do you measure the effectiveness? We're running out of time. We're almost close to the 1.5 hour mark. So I'll go through this a little quickly. So I'm just going to touch upon some terms. We won't do this in too much detail, right? Engagement rate. That's the first part, right? What is engagement rate? Engagement rate is a measure of how many people engage with the medium, right? If you were to define it is the numerator is the number of views, like how many people have viewed the video, have reacted to it in terms of either pressing the thumb icon for a like, or have shared the video, or put a comment, right, for the video, and divided by denominator is the number of impressions. That is the number of times that the video has been served or shown across multiple touch points, right? So showing a video and actually it being viewed are two different things, right? So like you all have seen, right? We'll go on to YouTube or something and you're searching something, some videos come up. So video being shown, but unless you click on that and you actually see it, you're not actually seen. So 100 people, the ad may have been shown to 100 people, but if only 2 people have clicked on it to see it, and 1 person has maybe liked it and 1 person has shared it and commented, the engagement rate is the sum of this, which is 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4, divided by the number of impressions. So just to go through this example, right? If you see this DDLJ video, right? Overall impressions, let's assume is around 100, around 10,000, whatever, this is 10 million impressions, right? I'll just put that as an assumed number. But if you look at the actual number in terms of, it shows 2.8 million views, 38K likes, and around 1.2K comments. So if you add all of that, you get around 320K, reactions, and that divided by 10 million impressions gives you an engagement rate of 3.2%. So this is how the metrics, when you actually get down to it and measuring the engagement rate. And what is it that, all that hard work that you went into building up the story that influences the engagement rate? It is the emotion, the characters, the conflict that make increase the engagement rate of your communication to drive engagement rate, right? Because you want customers to engage with the communication, only then will they act upon it. Next metric that we look at is click-through rate. Now they've engaged with the video, they've seen it, they've commented, they've liked it, but what do they do after that? How many of them have clicked to go and to the next destination? Like assuming that this DDLJ video was to go and book tickets for DDLJ. So the click rate over here is how many of them click the video to go to, let's say, maybe Book My Show to book the ticket, right? Or in the case of this Surf Excel ad, because it's an online ad, maybe they clicked on it to go to the ad in either Amazon or Big Basket or the other app to shop on it, right? So that's a click-through rate. Again, assuming that there are 120K clicks for the 10,000 impressions, the click-through rate is 1.2% for this ad. Again, the story element that influences the click-through rate is very important, is the solution. That whether the solution that you showed, right, of the dirt removal, etc., is convincing enough for the customer to say, okay, I want to know more about it, I probably want to buy this product. And finally, the most important metric, which is the conversion rate, which is, right, the actual number of purchases done divided by the number of people or the landing pages that have come to the Book My Show landing page. How many tickets have been purchased or purchase clicks for tickets divided by the landing page visits. That's the conversion rate. Or in the case of the Surf Excel ad, the buy now clicks divided by the number of landing page visits. Oh, here what is very important is the solution and the authenticity, right? That is believable. I trust this solution. I trust that this is the promise that will be delivered is very important. So these are the three metrics that when you have a digital campaigns out there, your storytelling campaigns out there, that you're going to use to measure the effectiveness of your campaign, right? Engagement rate, click-through rate, conversion rate. Okay. With that, we sort of, there are various tools to track this. We won't touch upon that. Now, just to sort of end with this, I'm just summarizing, what are all the elements that we've touched upon today. With the power of, then we went through the 6 core elements of a compelling story. We walked through some examples that you all shared of how you all would apply it to your brands or to you all are engaged with. We looked at some, then took a stop on storytelling. Look, content marketing formats are there, audio, text-based content marketing formats that are out there. Brand first, customer first, brand-centric, customer-centric. And then we looked at the route of how you could integrate the storytelling into your content marketing strategy, or whether you could, the 2 axes, depending on where your brand is and the category is, right? And whether you go brand first or customer first, emotion first or information first. And lastly, we looked at what are the 3 important metrics to measure the impact of a storytelling effort, which is engagement rate, click-through rate, and conversion rate. With that, I'll just take a brief stop over here and open it to Sumit and Professor as to whether we should pause now and open it up for questions, because this summarizes and pretty much come to the end of the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this insightful session today. And thank you, participants, for joining us for this session. We are very thankful to you for taking out your precious time and attending this webinar with us. So before we conclude the session, I'd like to share a few details about the webinar series that we are starting with FMC, MS Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences. So in the coming weeks, we'll be organizing a digital marketing strategy session with Dr. Srivatsa, followed by another session with on marketplace marketing. So in that particular session, we'll be covering how to market your products on various marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, and other marketplaces, online marketplaces. So for people who are into e-commerce products and are looking at growing their business on various marketplaces, this is the session to look at. For B2B players and for startups or people with ideas to create digital businesses, we'll be organizing our next session with Dr. Srivatsa on digital business strategy. He is a emeritus professor with Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences. So we are organizing these webinars in order to showcase the capability that FMC RUAS Bangalore has related to digital business building. So I would take a few minutes to explain the program that we are about to launch in the month of by the end of August. So we're looking at launching a program to help business owners from small and medium enterprises to grow their business online. So the name of the program that RUAS has formulated is on is a postgraduate diploma in digital business management and e-commerce. So we are looking at this particular program to commence in August, and those of you who are interested to grow their business online can consider this program. So I'll just take a few moments to explain the program outline. So we've created a program for SME businesses who are looking at growing and competing with bigger brands online. So we had a participant mentioning about, you know, he's not able to compete with big brands, but the dynamics of the entire play is changing with the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, and digital tools. So gone are those days where you required huge budgets to compete with your competitors. Now, in the time of technology, AI, and digital landscape, it is no more a budget-based game to compete with big brands. You could, if you plan your digital business growth strategy carefully, you can do this at a very in a very cost-effective manner. And this is what is the proposition of our program on digital business management and e-commerce. So we're looking at SMEs and owners who are ambitious and would like to grow their brand online. So this is a program, a weekend program delivered online, is being created by Rama University of Applied Sciences. So in this particular program, we are targeting SMEs who are looking to take their business international through the digital route. There may be a lot of SMEs who may be looking at doing digital marketing better. Maybe some SME owners would be looking at grooming an in-house team of digital marketers to promote their brand online, or looking at hiring a digital agency to promote their business online. So our program is going to be training you over a span of a year to learn the nuances of digital business growth and manage the entire digital marketing project in your organization. So those of you who are looking at, who have a digital business idea or want to actually promote your business on marketplaces, this is a program which can help you learn all aspects of digital business growth. So when I say all aspects, what are we going to be covering in the program? So we'll cover digital marketing strategy, marketplace tactics to promote and position your product on various marketplaces. We'll help you understand, develop a very good understanding about how online customer behavior is, and what is the digital business environment prevalent in India and outside India also. In this program, we will also be covering many digital technologies and tools for e-business. We'll cover accounting, valuation of digital businesses, in even fundraising for digital businesses. So all of these sessions will be taken by industry experts like Mr. Monappa, faculties from RUAS, Dr. Srivatsa, and many eminent faculties. So going forward from there, in today's world, data is proving to be a very strategic asset. If you are able to manage data well in your organization, this could actually give you a very strong competitive advantage. And this is what we'll be covering in this training program, where we will talk about building monetization out of the data of your customers, products, your experiments that you do in your organization. How to build data as a strategic asset to grow your business is what we'll be covering. The experts from our team will also groom you to build up teams and manage your existing agencies and teams in a better way. We will look at covering customer acquisitions through digital marketing, storytelling and content marketing. You've seen a glimpse today. So we'll do a deep dive on this, where we'll be looking at, we'll be helping you create stories around your brand, and implement those stories in a format of a good content marketing strategy. Those of you who would like to promote your products online or convert your products into a software as a service model or a subscription business model, this program will guide you in that aspect also. For people who are looking at promoting their businesses online on various marketplaces, this program will help you find out opportunities for your products on various marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, and beyond Amazon and Flipkart. So there are close to about 50 plus B2B marketplaces around the world. If you would like to promote your products in Japan, Canada, Australia, there are multiple marketplaces where you could list your products. There are many directories through which you could acquire B2B leads for your business. So this trimester 3 would be covering it. We have a very strong and extensive module on e-sourcing and logistics for digital businesses. How to manage logistics when you decide to do your business outside India through the digital route. We'll cover marketplace marketing in a way, how to build traction for your products, how to generate inquiries. Then we have an extensive module on valuation and analytics. So analytics forms a very important aspect of any business today. So this program will cover nuances around analytics, how to create a dashboard, how to analyze your business numbers to figure out strategies and changes into your organization. So all of this is one of the most extensive programs. We understand that there are many programs which are being promoted. So key differentiator which we wanted to bring to the SME segment was that we've strongly witnessed that SMEs owners are most of the time struggling because of the budget constraints, talent nurturing in their organization. So even if the SME wants to promote its business through on digital technologies, they face the quality issues with the team that they're handling. And now, as it is now indispensable for businesses to be digitally relevant, so the stakes are very high. If you do not transform your business digitally, the chances are that you would see huge risk of obsolescence in the coming years. So this is no more a choice for you. You eventually have to turn around or transform your business in tune with the latest digital technology. So this is where we thought that we could come up with a program which could actually help SME owners be digitally relevant. So that's the entire objective of our program. And in order to create awareness for the program, we are doing this webinar series around various topics where you could come experience the difference that we're trying to bring to the table. Interact with our faculty members who will be taking extensive sessions in our program. So these are few of the highlights which I wanted to share with you. So in addition to this, this is the faculty mix that we have. We've got eminent faculty members who would be interacting and would be working with your business very closely over a span of 1 year to build your digital business idea into a reality. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Dr. Srivatsa will be the program coordinator for this entire program. So we'll be sharing his details with you on email. And recording of this session would also be available onto our YouTube channel, and you could refer the recordings. Dr. Srivatsa, I would like to invite you to conclude the session and thank Mr. Monappa.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mr. Sumit. A very heartfelt thanks to Mr. Monappa for such a wonderful session on content and storytelling and content marketing, where he took us through the importance of storytelling, through the narrative arc, about the various elements in the narrative arc, and where to fix the storytelling, what kind of different formats that are available for creating the content, and the importance of analytics. It was a very wonderful session, sir. I am sure that all the participants have a nice story to tell about today's evening. And thank you all, participants, for a wonderful evening spent with us. I am sure that you have picked up a lot of nuances of the content marketing and storytelling. And I'm sure that you'll be able to practice it in whatever field, in whatever context that you wish. Thanks for a very nice evening and have a good day. And please do look forward for our further sessions on digital marketing. And as Mr. Sumit said, we have crafted a very nice postgraduate diploma program, which is in offering for you. And it's on a weekend mode to help you make use of the time advantage as such. We also, Mr. Sumit, we also have a good number of alumni here who are from different parts of the country, and some of them are abroad. And looks like some of them are also interested in the program, and I'm sure that they'll reach out to us. So, yeah,
Sure.
thanks a lot, and have a very nice evening.
Thank you once again, Dr. Srivatsa and Mr. Monappa. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.